All right, well, welcome back, y'all. As you can see behind me, we're getting yet another round of those nice afternoon thunderstorms that are full of lightning and all. But we will take the rain should it show up. We'll see how severe this gets. Got to jump in the garden real quick because Tiffany wants some potatoes. She's gonna make potato salad. And since I haven't dug any of them, I figured I'd bring y'all along for that since you've been watching them growing. All right, I don't need many. All she's requested is I fill this bowl up, and I'll come out here in another day or so, and we'll start digging up the rest of these. I do want to mention, although this video may come out after 4th of July, I hope you had a wonderful 4th, and if it hasn't made it there yet, I hope you have a great 4th. That's about the size I'm typically used to for a new potato. Well, the first batch didn't do too good. I was kind of worried about that. I do see quite a few rotten ones. I mean, when you had a foot of rain sitting here from tropical storm, no telling what we may dig into. Alright, not seeing much else over there. Let's get one of these big green ones and see here. Looking more promising. I don't know, there's several rotten ones in there too. Well, this storm is coming. Let me show you. Seeing a lot of lightning in this, and a lot of rain too. It is bright red on the radar. So I'm gonna hightail it inside. It is a couple days after what you just watched. So it's after the 4th of July, and I hope y'all had a great 4th of July. We had a, let's just say, very interesting trip. We decided to go down a special creek, river, whatever you want to call it, that really you don't travel down with boats, but we got with a group of people, tried it. We got caught in one of the worst thunderstorms yesterday. Popping lightning, pouring rain. The creek was much lower than expected. Boat got beat all up, caught on rocks, caught on logs. It was an adventure. Eventually, after getting caught in this thunderstorm forever, and I hate lightning, by the way, we finally make it down river out of this canal and get to a big covered bridge, and took shelter there. So, oh, that was such a good feeling to finally get underneath that bridge. As you can see behind me, we have more thunderstorms coming. Radar does not look good. There's some kind of tropical low sitting out here in the Gulf right now that's moving across land. It's not really supposed to develop, but looks like we're gonna get a lot of rain out of it, which is fine because we could always use some rain. It's extremely hot. Heat index has been, oh goodness, 105 one day this week it hit. So it's been in the mid to high 90s, but it's just sweltering heat and humidity, and the heat index through the roof. Actually feels kind of good today. We didn't get home till almost midnight last night. It was still raining from that storm, so it has everything nice and cooled off. So the garden's kind of wrapping up. I'm gonna cut a little okra, pick a few more things out of here, and I think I'm gonna grab the weed eater and come in here and start knocking some of this grass down. It's getting so thick and nasty. So I don't like the way it looks. Knock it down, and then as soon as I get done pulling everything else up vegetable-wise, I'll come in here with that weed burner again, clear the whole side out, and then over the next few months, as I start chipping a lot of wood mulch, I'll come in here and layer it and getting it looking real pretty for a fall garden and for next year. I don't know if y'all can hear all that thunder. It's coming. I better get out of here. So weird things going on. My okra production is down quite a bit. I can't quite figure out what's going on, which I've already got a lot. For some reason, this whole stretch right here was producing okra like mad. I cut it all. It's just stopped. No blooms, no nothing, although I'm seeing where there could potentially be blooms and flower tops everywhere. This side started doing the same thing. So over the last couple of days, there hasn't been hardly any okra. But I come out today, I'm starting to see flowers and blooms opening back up everywhere. Don't know why it just started back. And my okra production is actually back up, even though that doesn't look very good. So I guess they're just going through a cycle. The plants still look healthy and awesome, so I would assume it's still going to produce a lot. But now that I'm seeing signs of flowering popping up again, I feel quite confident it's going to put back on. So it's kind of weird how it produced like crazy, stopped, now it's starting to produce again. So who knows? Well, since I'm already out here and before the ground gets soaking wet again, I'll go ahead and pull up the last of these potatoes. So they just didn't do too well this year. I'm noticing there's a lot of rotten ones in the ground. And I guess that's to be expected after that tropical storm that put a foot of rain on the ground in, what was that, 48 hours? Then it wound up raining several more inches that week. So I should have known just to come out here and pull them up then. You live, you learn. That's the way life goes. They weren't quite ready at the time, but I probably could have saved a whole lot more than I'm gonna get now. Now what's surprising is, even though I've been done with the squash for a while, haven't touched them, haven't even been watering them, taking care of them, nothing. They died completely off, then started coming back, have now started blooming, and they're starting to produce again. So I didn't realize they'd do that, because normally year after year, whenever they start dying off, I'll pull them up, I'm done with them. I just hadn't had time to get out here and really start cleaning these beds. So it's kind of surprising that they come back. My zucchini over there behind you on another little bed that I have started doing the same thing. And typically this time of year, you'll come out and look at them and there'll be little, I don't know, little wormholes or something in them. Every time it gets hot, normally you can't keep squash or zucchini. I've only seen that on just 2 of them this year. Surprisingly, every one I keep pulling, there's no bug damage at all. So kind of surprising. Like I said, we're completely done with squash and zucchini, but I've still been pulling them. My wife's been carrying them to people. I've been giving them to friends, anybody that requests them. If it's still here, why not? I'm not in a rush to have to clean all these beds out. It's still quite a while before I'll plant a fall garden. Okay, here's exactly what I'm talking about. See those little holes that are bored in up top and right in here? That's typically what you find this time of year when it starts getting hot, and you just about can't keep up with those types of insects. So like I said, we're done with this. But all the other ones that I pulled off today look good, so I'll keep picking them until I see too much bug infestation. Pull everything, clean the bed up, done with it. Well, the corn is done. Officially marking that off the list. There's still a lot of ears out there, but they're just not going to fill out. It's too late in the season and way too hot. A lot of y'all have been watching the channel for a while. You remember I kind of rushed to build my raised bed garden this year. And I started my garden probably a month later than I like to. I'm curious if I'd have started it earlier and on time, if corn would have filled out, I would have got even more ears. But I'm real happy with what I got. This officially puts me over 100 ears of corn put up, which is perfect. That is a great number that I like to have. Anywhere between 80 to 100 ears will take me into next year, because we just don't eat corn that often. It's not really a vegetable you should eat every meal, but I love it. Yeah, I know. Flip-flops. It's hot. Well, that makes it look a lot better, not seeing weeds and grass growing up everywhere. But it's my fault that it's got to this point. Just been so busy, just hadn't made the time to go chip and mulch this whole area. So in an upcoming video in the future sometime, I'll come in here, propane weed all this out again, seeing that I had good success last time doing that. And then we'll mulch this whole thing. So that'll work. I wish I could leave it all in grass. It looked beautiful. but I don't like doing what I just done. Coming in here and weed eating everything is doing nothing but distributing weed, seed, and grass and everything else into my beds, which is going to make them harder to weed in the future and keep up with. I mean, you can see what grew in the beds while I had vines and stuff in there. So weeds will definitely show up. There's no reason to add even more seed to a bed because there's constant work there. However, I will say this has been growing like this for months, and that's all the weeds that popped up in there. I have far better luck with raised beds weeding them than I do in the ground gardening. So I'm still happy with the, you know, amount of grass I see in there. Like, look, this whole area just had one little piece of grass grow up in it. Everything else is still just mulch and compost. It looks good. Whew. So I am filthy from weed eating. I'm sweating to death, and we've got a birthday party to get to, so I'm just not going to be able to get to the propane weeding today. Like I said, I'll catch that in a future episode. Still got some rain coming behind me. I'm hearing you know, lightning and thunder, so I think I'm gonna go on inside and get cleaned up for this birthday party. But appreciate y'all so much for watching. The garden's pretty well wrapping up. We've still got a lot of peppers that'll continue to grow through the summer. Okra is starting to make a comeback. Everything else is pretty much done, so we'll clean this up in a few upcoming episodes, get the garden looking nice again, do some cooking with some peppers and okra. One subscriber asked that we use some of the frozen vegetables that we have, like squash and zucchini, since most people don't have good luck with frozen squash and zucchini. And we'll make some casseroles and a few things with that to show you how we use those, because we've got a lot put up. Next video is probably going to be me finally clearing out the old barn area, putting some grass seed in. So we'll do some box blading and tractor work there, go dig some dirt. So that'll be a pretty fun video. I may try to start on that as soon as tomorrow, depending on how Mother Nature does, because it's like 80% chance of rain for the next several days. So we've kind of got to let this tropical system get out of here. And then I have got to get on this storm shelter over here. Got to. It's driving me crazy. And I know I keep telling y'all that I need to start on it, but I've got to, because eventually we're going to get a storm come through this area, and if that's not ready, good chance it won't be, I'm going to beat myself up about it. So thank y'all so much for watching.